Hello, my name is Lacey McLemore, and I have been the teacher sponsor for Literary Magazine for the past 2 years. I'm going to be talking you through the Newsmag summer assignment today. There are 3 different parts of the summer assignment, which I'm going to go over in detail. And please know that this assignment was created from both newspaper assignments in the past as well as literary magazine assignments in the past. Both Ms. Nieves and I came together to create an assignment that we feel will prepare both newspaper and literary magazine students to participate and work together in this class in the 2019-2020 school year, and we are both very, very excited about it. So this Newsmag summer assignment consists of 3 different parts. Part 1 is the experience in creative writing and news journalism. Part 2 is you choosing a path, and Part 3 are the issue plans and ideas. So for each of these parts, we wanted to provide some background and purpose that Ms. Nieves and I considered when creating each of these parts of the assignment. So I'm going to start with part 1, and I'm going to go over the background and purpose and then go over the directions for it. So part 1 is the experience in both creative writing and news journalism. The background purpose for this is that in order for both creative writing and news journalism to be valued by all members of the staff in our new publication, both Ms. Nieves and I, Ms. McLemore, feel it will be beneficial to gain experience in both of these types of writing. So the directions are as follows. You're going to choose 1 creative literary magazine and 1 newspaper to read and critique. And I'm just bolding that for you here so you can see you are choosing both. You may choose from any of the following options. For the newspaper, those are here. For the creative magazine, those are here. Or you can also feel free to find your own. It's totally up to you. And then second, on a separate document, we want you to write the names of these publications and include your critiques beneath them. Each critique should be in paragraph format and should be no longer than 2 pages, 12-point Times New Roman font, and double-spaced with 1-inch margins. And each critique should include the following information: an overall review of the publication itself, strengths of the writing, weaknesses of the writing, ways in which each style of writing could be incorporated into your own work, and ideas for design and style of the news magazine based on design style layouts provided in each publication. Part 2 is called Choosing a Path. So for this, you can imagine you're going to be choosing not only a path within the news journalism side or the creative writing side, but also within the departments we envision having in the upcoming school year in the news magazine course. All right, so the background and purpose for this is while the future teacher sponsor of our organization will have the ultimate decision on which students work in which department, we do feel like it is beneficial for each student to choose a department about which they would like to learn more and in which they are interested in pursuing in the 2019-2020 school year. To that end, we also want the work you do in learning about this department to grow, inform, and inspire the work you do in the upcoming school year. Therefore, we want you to pick 1 of the following texts which relate to the departments both Ms. Nieves and I envision for the news magazine in the coming school year. And once again, I do want to stress that this is something we envision. Since we don't yet know who the teacher sponsor of this publication is going to be, we can't make any guarantees. But once again, this is what we've come together and decided that we feel would be best. Okay, so you can see the departments on the side of the table here and the texts related to them here. These texts and departments are coming from that meeting, and the texts themselves are also coming from prior newspaper summer assignments and literary magazine summer assignments. The departments are as follows: leadership, journalism discipline, nonfiction writing, creative writing, design, photojournalism, and copy editing. The directions for this portion, part 2, choosing a path, are as follows. So you're going to choose 1 of the above texts to read over the summer. And I'm just going to bold that so you know that you're choosing just 1. Please keep in mind that if you can't afford to purchase your own copy, you can visit your local library or the school library in order to see which books may be available for you to borrow. Second, we want you to read the table of contents and choose the top 3 most interesting chapters or sections to read over the summer. We're going to read the rest of the text over the course of the school year in order to keep our minds open and our ideas fresh. Third, we would like for you to write a response to these 3 chapters. Each response should be no longer than 1 to 2 paragraphs. In the response, please complete the following tasks. We want you to rate the effectiveness of each of the chapters and discuss ideas you plan to implement from this text, including how and why you will implement these ideas. Finally, try it out. We want you to write or create your own piece which exemplifies or demonstrates the ideas you have seen in the chapters you read. Some examples are provided below for a few of the texts seen above. So you might choose to write like a list of the most important principles, or you might choose to create a layout or a spread if you were reading a design text like up here. Finally, you might choose to even write a piece of fiction, nonfiction, poetry, or a news article if you were choosing one of those options here. Okay. The last part of the summer assignment is part 3, issue, ideas, and plans. The background and purpose for this section is that in order to make sure we are all able to hit the ground running in fall of 2019, Ms. Nieves, Ms. McLemore, or our new teacher sponsor wants to hear from you when it comes to ideas for new issues, themes, and other plans for our class. Though we can't promise every idea will be used, all of your ideas will be read and considered. We feel this is a great way to start working together for a fresh class full of new ideas and perspectives. There are 2 steps for this part. First, we want you to brainstorm the ideas you have for issues of our magazine using the following information. So once again, this is something that we envision. It's not necessarily set in stone. Both Ms. Nieves and I agreed that we would like to plan to digitally publish a magazine each 6 weeks. 3 times a semester and 6 times a year. And we think that 2 of those issues will be print issues at the end of the semesters. And we want to hear from you. Which types of articles or works should we repeat? Like, which types of sections should we repeat in each issue? Like sports or the arts, or should we repeat poetry, or should we showcase a different type of creative writing in each issue? These are things that we would like to hear about from you. What ideas do you have for features or news stories that are coming up? And then how could we create 6 different thematic elements so that each of the magazines is cohesive and all of the parts fit together? And then anything else you'd like to consider. Second, in a separate document, write up your top 3 ideas for the news magazine. Make sure you provide enough depth and explanation for each one, including but not limited to importance, positives, negatives, and the process which led you to this idea. So I'm hoping that this is clear and that this is something that will help you complete this assignment over the summer. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Ms. Nieves or myself by using our Fulton County email addresses, which are listed on the school's website. And I think that's it. Thanks so much for your time.